They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so, so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so, so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. It's 'cause you are. They'll gladly stagnate a living wage, snap the chains, bury it. Labor slaves in rusty cages dragged behind a chariot, led by Mr. Racial Jungle, Joseph R. Iscariot, fighting over scraps as they barrage us all with variants and BuzzFeed clickbait, straight until we're paralyzed, trying to distract us from the concentration camps that Joe had swore he'd close but only chose to amplify, where they got 50-something kids in cages made for 5 to occupy. And no, she hasn't seen the camps, but Harris swears they're paradise. She tells us the facilities are safe, and that right down to the women, they are regularly sterilized. Then she throws her head back and she proceeds to laugh, that sort of heartless cackle you'd expect from someone working steadfastly on behalf of the virus and a Congress full of parasites. And where was I? I was busy cashing every blue check, demonstrating plainly all the narratives expected from the verified. I was busy breeding verbal leeches by the terabyte. Train them to exsanguinate the wealthy while they sleep at night. Bleed the oil barons dry and barren, say they showed us how to share and now we share alike. Tell them I contracted rabies from a feral mic. Now I'm just another species losing sleep to noise pollution and these glaring lights, forced to change its habits and adapt to just survive. But now it's safe to say that some of us are thriving in the moment, throwing shit on presidential homes beneath the Paris skies. So if you feel like you're just powerless, I guess you bought the lie. But I can tell they're petrified of our collective might, 'cause I can hear those gentrifiers weeping at the sight of our collective rights. And I only can imagine the intensifying fear of knowing revolution's near, and all that's left to do is simply wallow in the thick anticipation of a rabid bite. And baby, one day you can ask your leaders just what that was like before you grab a slice. So if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. Honey, if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. See, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, and tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark because you aren't, because we aren't. You see, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and make you build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, where they'll tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark because you aren't, because we aren't. False alarm, I thought that help was here, but it was my own reassurance bouncing round 100,000 times in my own ecosphere. If every time you speak you keep it off the record, consequently you can keep your record clear. And if you mute the speech that shakes your frail beliefs, you only seek to insulate your image and continue down the stream in the direction clout and credit steers. Directly from your mouth into Am I the Asshole Reddit's ears. Directly back into the greasy pockets of some Gates Foundation financiers. And then directly back into the frantic final thoughts of early trial Neuralink volunteers, staring at the numb and mumbling vacancies where recently it been their peers. half of whom are glitching with the memory stuck on pause, and half have zero fucking clue just who they are or why they're here. It's been said that fear is all we have to fear, but that was back before the basosphere condenser came along, distilling concentrated fear that's diamond pure, crystal clear, oppressor strong, and woven into every single article you read and song they let you hear. And then Elon heard that Jeff enhanced our fears by 86%, and he said, hold my beer. And not a single sheep among the herd would turn their head or say a word, cause they were all too busy begging for the shears, begging for the muzzle, happy just to guzzle, feed, and watch a screen for all their years. Man, to each his own, can't afford a home, but they'll let you have your cozy little ecosphere, where there among your own devices you can break the seventh seal, overthrow the oracles, and slay the seer. All the tomes were burned and all the lips were seared. Shut your eyes and all our lives just disappear. Now blink them twice. Welcome to your ecosphere. My lips, brand new taxes, starving all the billionaires and neutering their Visa Maxes. Topple Congress off their axis, mobilize the homeless, give them axes, call it praxis. Chop a couple limbs off the legislative branches, we'll show you the difference between air as a human right and guaranteed oxygen access. Octogenarians who barely know what day it is are culling countless citizens while sitting on a dais made of ignorance that was built on the graves of the slaves made to labor for its self-declared significance. And all to build a Congress full of millionaires who make their fortunes insider trading while they shit on all the indigent. So I got a bone to pick with our leaders, and I'll start with the ligaments. Pick right through the muscle, dig the marrow out, and serve it to the unhoused millions living in their minivans or watching their belongings get evicted from their tenement. I have a dream where we breach the walls of Congress and just let them in. And what happens next will survive in only text, cause there won't be any evidence. There will only be that heavy kind of feeling that pervades a space where there has been a reckoning and you can feel its remnants. Let any man who enters seeking power know that those who came before him suffocated on their eminence. That there once was a seal on the wall, but we quartered it and scattered all the pieces that it might prevent its semblance. And so we end the great experiment. We'll take all your billions, leave you 2 coins for the ferryman. Leave you drifting on a Dutchman floating derelict among the wretched seraphim. For holy is the hand that wiped the land clean of those who pose as gentlemen. That's my time, honey, cue the thunderclap and strike the theremin. And so we end the great experiment. Give you 2 coins for the ferryman. If you thought you saw your freedom, it was truly a mirage. Freedom's locked a cell away from Julian Assange. Our First Amendment rights are by his side behind bars, and the next voices silenced will be ours. Rest assured, democracy is rotting in the dark. Rest assured, we vilified dissenters, pushed out black renters, and tore down their housing just to build a little urban park. God, I tell you, old America really knows how to leave its mark. Blaze a trail, leave 100 scars. Rip your free speech out your throat, demonize the man who told you it was so, and leave him freezing in a cell in Belmarsh, perpetually awaiting extradition, thrown to the wolves of claustrophobia and malnutrition. And all that we can hope is that we catch Uncle Joe in a fleeting lucid moment of his flickering senile fascist mission. That maybe we could trick him into thinking Julian is just some sweet blonde middle school Christian, and she got mixed up with a few bad apples, slapped with some charges, and thrown into prison. Joe would set him free without a moment's hesitation under one condition: that he can sniff her hair before she goes back to school and he goes back to business. But if Joe's just had his shots, then we haven't got a chance of getting past his black and white vision, getting past his gut reaction to appease all of his donors' sick requests and shape policy and law around corporate-mandated decisions. So really, all along, I think Julian was one man standing in a tempest with the fearlessness of true conviction. And if his...
Hi, everybody. Oh, my God. We're really doing this. Okay. So, I am Indy. Everybody knows me. Hey, how are you? This is Indy from Indie Left News, Indie News Network. We are live on INN. We are live on all these networks. Oh, my God. All right. This is the Indie Media Awards. So, a month ago or so, a bunch of people came up to me and said, there's no awards for our industry or for what we do and for these great people. You know, we have one or two, but there's really nothing like that. So, I said, let's do that. So we made the Indie Media Awards. All right. So hopefully everybody can hear me. ILN is a restream. Yes, ILN is a restream. We are on restream. We are on every network, hopefully. Rockfin, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. You can, you know, everywhere. All right. IndieMediaAwards.com. The website should be live and active now, and you should be able to go there, and it should not be a countdown clock. It looks like it still is. It will be going live shortly, and I'm going to walk you through the website in a moment. But I wanted to walk you through the names of the winners, and let's get like kind of right to it. So there are 3 categories for honorees. There are no losers. This is only winners. We're only going to talk about the best of the best. They're fantastic. We love all these people, and we're so grateful for all the work they do. They don't get recognized often enough. They do so much work to counter the narratives, and we'd be in the dark without them. So the first one is ROBBIE JAEGER. Okay, come on. See, I hit the wrong button. And now, how do I play it? ROBBIE JAEGER, yay! Okay, Politify, MCSC Network. So ROBBIE JAEGER. All right, yeah, that's my little pathetic applause track. So ROBBIE JAEGER he does incredible investigative journalism, and he's doing stuff on the Colonial Pipeline, of course. He works with MCSC. He's got the Politify Substack. Okay. Next, we have got, and again, there's like Caitlin Johnstone. Everybody knows and loves Caitlin Johnstone. CaitlinJohnstone.com. She is an independent writer, poet, and she shares her thoughts every day on Twitter, on her Substack, Medium, everywhere. And she does it for free, and that's the purest form of journalism. It's really her opinion and her research, and she's doing it all for the love and the knowledge and to share that out there. So thank you, Caitlin Johnstone. Next, we have got Alan MacLeod. Wow. Yeah, Alan MacLeod may even get a special award because Alan MacLeod at MidPress, he's also working with FAIR. He's also uncovered a ton of different corruption. He's been finding all these ex-CIA employees who are working at Google and Facebook and in the State Department, you know, ex-State Department employees. So awesome. Thank you, Alan MacLeod. And of course, the immeasurable Whitney Webb, who just released her book on the Epstein scandal. Amazing Whitney Webb. We all know her. We love Whitney. Go to Unlimited Hangout is her outlet. She also writes with the Last American Vagabond, TLAV. Next, we've got Sharon Zhang with Truth Out. We feature her pretty regularly on How Do We Miss That? She does incredible work on labor, specifically with regard to unions, Starbucks Union and Amazon Labor Union. Okay, we've got Eva Bartlett. And Eva, let me get a little bit of music. It's like super quiet here.
Only compensation.
All right.
But I strongly doubt that anyone could ever.
Let's go back to that and let's turn this down a little bit. Hi, Eva. So we're going to play some Jesse Jet. Eva is an independent journalist. She's currently based in the Donbass. She's reporting on what's happening with the war, of course, in Ukraine. And she's really reporting on what's happening. I mean, she's getting actual pictures. She was talking to residents on the ground in the Donbass, asking about the referendum and asking why they wanted to join Russia and why they were voting for the referendum. Then you've got Kit KLARENBERG, of course. And Kit's working with the Gray Zone, and Kit publishes to his Substack, and he's done some incredible investigative pieces this year. We got Brett Wilkins. Common Dreams is one of the best outlets, and we're gonna be talking about the best outlets later on. Okay, but Brett Wilkins is, and I could have picked anyone from Common Dreams. There's about 6 or 7 of them. I just find myself aligning and liking Brett's content lately more often this year. Jonathan K. Cook. He also writes a blog. He's censored where's my thing? I just lost it. So Kyle Anzalone with Anti-War, and we've got Vanessa BEELEY. I'll just let this run because I don't want to have to stop it each time. Alex Rubinstein with the Gray Zone, also formerly of RT and Sputnik, and then we've got Kevin Gostola, and that ends it for the writers. Kevin writes with Shadowproof and The Dissenter. He's done a tremendous work on the Assange case, as well as on other truth tellers and whistleblowers, and he talks about what's happening within prisons as well. So shout out to Kevin Gostola. Congratulations to all of these amazing writers, and thank you for doing what you do, really. You are all featured in Independent Left News on a regular basis, and again, shining a light on truth and what's actually happening out there, so thank you. Okay, we've got, for the streamers, and it's a little bit of a smaller category, but we got Sabby Sabs. Everybody knows and loves Sabby Sabs. Sabrina Salvati from the Sabby Sabs show. Does a nightly show. She also does a call-in podcast. She works with the Revolutionary Blackout Network. So we love Sabby Sabs. Of course, the Jimmy Dore show, Jimmy Dore. So Jimmy Dore, funny enough, yesterday we took out a super chat, announced that the Indie Media Awards would be happening today with Jimmy being an honoree. Actually, he is going to be an honoree. So congratulations and thank you, Jimmy Dore, for doing what you do and for screaming at the establishment and for questioning narratives always. Thank you. And of course, my brother Richard Medhurst, who's been one of the cornerstones of Independent Left News and Leftist.today. Which is now Indie Media Today. We're now switching over the Substack. We're now Indie Media Today. All right. We've got Lee Camp from Moment of Clarity. Okay. He was with RT Redacted tonight, had a show taken away. He always had Moment of Clarity. He's also a stand-up comedian, independent, one of the hardest working guys in this business, writes with Sheer Post. He writes on his own website. He publishes to a Substack. He's done podcasts. And then, of course, Last American Vagabond, Ryan Christian. Amazing work. You want to talk about questioning narratives? Nobody questions narratives like Ryan. I can say that for sure. Hardlens Media, and we've got Mona Carmona in the chat. If it wasn't for Mona Carmona, I would not know who Hardlens Media was. She introduced me to Kit Cabello and Daniel over at Hardlens, and Kira and Lainey and the whole team over there. Fred and FaZe, and congratulations to all of you again. Thank you so much for doing what you do every day. It really. We don't have very many news shows on the actual left that do 5 days a week coverage, and it's so important that you do that, so thank you. Okay, we've got Frank Analysis, another Mona favorite and another friend of the family. Franco, for sure. Franco also questions a lot of narratives, and of course, Speak Your Truth, right? That's Nico. And then we've got Fiorella and Pasta from the Convo Couch with a lot of MCSE representation, a lot of family representation here. Again, who's been questioning narratives on COVID? Who's been questioning narratives on elections? Who's been questioning narratives on Biden administration stuff? Who's been questioning narratives on a lot? And then, of course, we've got Revolutionary Blackout Network themselves, and we've got the Core Five. That's Sabby, JB, Rome, Compton J, and Nick himself, Nick, the Socialist MMA. Congratulations and thank you to all of you, really. We spend hours watching your content, talking about your content. I've been fortunate enough to become friends with some of you and phenomenal people, and just love you to death and appreciate you so much, really. Now we want to get to the top outlets. We've got Common Dreams. Again, these are the outlets that are featured often and the most in our top 6 and at the top of independent left news on a daily basis, because we do publish in a newsletter daily. And Consortium News, again, fearless journalism, independent since I believe 1997, the first one on the internet. Mint Press News, and of course they changed their logo today, and I have the whole logo, but Minar, phenomenal, just speaking up for the Palestinian people, for the Arab world, and in the sea of media. We certainly appreciate them as well. And then we've got Truth Out, and Truth Out is an outstanding independent nonprofit outlet questioning narratives. That's where Sharon Zhang works. Mondo Weiss, wow. I mean, you want to talk about news and opinion about Palestine, Israel, the United States, and you've got Michael Aria, and you've got Philip Weiss, who started it, and you've got Jessica Buxbaum, who writes for them. I mean, we really do feature their content regularly, and they're really speaking narratives that I don't hear anybody else really saying, publishing that regularly. So appreciate their voice. And the Gray Zone, okay, Max Blumenthal and Anya and Aaron Mate, of course, and everyone over there at the Gray Zone, Kate Klarenberg, and everyone who goes, publishes a piece for them and with them. And we've got the Black Agenda Report, Margaret Kimberly, and Richard has written a couple of pieces over there. And again, Richard Medhurst, Danny Haifong, and RIP tribute to the late Glenn Ford, who founded the Black Agenda Report. Okay, we've also got Shear Post, Robert Shear, and I know he republishes a lot of articles from all over the web, from Chris Hedges to Lee Camp to Ralph Nader to republishing Common Dreams articles to you name it. Shear Post, an outstanding outlet. And again, these are organizations with 3 or more writers. Shadowproof, I just missed, but Shadowproof, let's bring them back up for a second. Kevin Gostola and Brian Girandola, I believe, started this outlet. Mohammed El Mazi's written with them, other outstanding writers. And again, publishing about the Assange case, about imperialism, about what's happening with prisons, about so many different things. Wow. So that's our friends over at Shadowproof. And then we've got Unlimited Hangout. There are other writers that write with Whitney Webb, and I wanted to give an acknowledgement to the website and to the newsletter as well. I mean, of course, it is centered around a lot of Whitney's work and her going on podcasts, but there are other members. Matthew Aaron, I know is a member. I know Johnny Vedmore has written with them. So shout out and congratulations and thank you to Unlimited Hangout. And I think we've got a couple of more. Popular Resistance. I find myself, very often they're doing a lot of the same kind of work that Independent Left News does. In aggregating news, and I find them discovering new outlets that I hadn't seen before. And Declassified UK, let's give a little bit of nod to some people across the pond. I believe this is Matt Kennard's outlet that he founded, totally uncorrupted and user founded. Same thing with Double Down News. Love their content. They do outstanding video content. And then we've got Anti-War. Dave DeCamp will be speaking tomorrow in Washington, D.C. for the Julian Assange rally. Super excited about that. And there's so many great speakers that are coming together to speak on behalf of Julian Assange and to scream at the Justice Department and the FBI to drop the charges and to not extradite and not pursue extradition on Julian Assange. They could drop this today and this could end today. They choose to keep it going. So thank you for Dave DeCamp. Thank you for all Kyle Anzalone, Scott Horton over at antiwar.com. Outstanding outlet. And then I believe the last outlet that we've got here is Left Voice. No, we got a couple more. Sorry. Left Voice. Awesome. Just so many pieces we've covered. Moon of Alabama has been covering the Ukraine war and war coverage that's been second to none. Free Julian Assange. Yes, absolutely. Milburn Stone, thank you for being here. Unicorn Riot has done phenomenal field journalism. They've done George Floyd protest coverage. They've done January 6th coverage, and they've actually done a lot of the leaking of the Patriot Front phone calls. And that's been used in the trials to get some of these guys convicted. They also go out and cover Line 3 protests, and they cover police killings, and they cover God, just so many things. Nico Georgiadis and his whole team over there. Just please go support independent journalism. Really, it's so important to have independent, uncorrupted, corporate-free journalism, and all of these outlets and all these writers do that. Okay, now we're back to Robbie JAEGER. Okay, cool. So again, that's really that's everybody that we're honoring. It's 39 writers, outlets, and streamers. And again, we can't be grateful enough to them. I'm going to bring up the website now. I'm hoping that the actual website is live. I still see a countdown clock. Either that or I need to clear my cache. But either way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Let's turn off the playlist. Turn the playlist off. There we go. Hey, okay. This is the Indie Media Awards website. So once it is live, you will see. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. There we go. All right, Jesse, we're going to keep you going here. This is Convention. Off of... Which one? This is called The Coming of... this is off of Inauguration Gift. Jesse Jett. Go sign up, jessejett.bandcamp.com, all the music. He's written Winter in Belmarsh is a spoken word piece about Julian. So the Indie Media Awards, like you saw, we went through all of the honorees. So there are 3 categories like we see here. Top writers, top streamers, top outlets. A little blurb about who the Indie Media Awards is, why we created them, what they're all about. And then the criteria. Okay, no mega corporate funding, that you need to be advertiser free. That you're exposing corruption, which is what all of these outlets have in common. All these writers, all these streamers. So when you go to and you click on a top writers, for example, you'll be able to see everybody categorized, see their profile. Click on Sharon Zhang's name, and you'll see that her bio said that she's this is right off their Twitter bios and profiles. Links to find them, their Twitter profiles. We want to showcase these amazing people, these amazing outlets, and give links to find them, to subscribe to them, to support them, and to learn from them, and to follow them. Robbie JAEGER, for example, here's links to his Politify Substack, to his Rockfin channel, as well as to follow him on Twitter. And again, we can go through this. I don't want to have to go through person by person. We went through these already. Caitlin Johnstone, amazing, 100% reader funded. She's on Instagram. And again, all these links will go to find them so that you can go support them. This is all about them. So in addition to creating this website, in addition to the show that we're doing, we are creating an actual award. I want to bring up a photo of the award itself. I don't even know where I can do that, though. I hadn't really thought about how I'm going to do that. I have Caitlin Johnstone's a photo of it somewhere. Let's see how I can get this. All right, so that's it. What do you guys think? All right. Whitney Webb technically got 2 awards. Yes, she did. Can't hear what? Can't hear what? Because we're not playing anything except Jesse's music. So let me turn Jesse up a little. All right. Well, I'm looking for the award, a picture of the award, which I know I sent to somebody that I can pull from. Come on, my photos.
A Democratic president wants 100,000 cops.
Here we go. Oh, no, actually, we have one other special award to issue. All right. I'm going to pause for that. Escape. Here, let's F11 and get ready to get out of full screen mode. And let's see if we can paste this in here. No? Okay, let's drag it in. No, we can't do that. Copy image. No. Did it fall asleep? Yes, it fell asleep. I fell asleep. Save to my downloads folder. Open downloads. No, that's not it. That's a sort. That's not it. Come on. Oh, we're having a fail here. Okay. Finally. Hey, okay, we have one final award. And it is for our selection committee member, Misty Winston, who has spent hours, I mean, hundreds of hours organizing and tweeting at and driving and phone calls at meetings, and this is what the award is going to look like. It's going to have the category name and whoever the outlet or the honoree is with the Indie Media Awards. It's on its way and being shipped to me now. And I will be sending these out to each of the honorees, and I'm hoping that they're going to appreciate that, put it up somewhere nice, and you know, display it so that and it means something, because it means something to us as one of the fans. You know, this is from the fans, and that's where I started first, is a fan of all these people. And again, we cover 200 plus outlets, streamers, and content creators at Independent Left News and Indie Media Today. And these are the people that are regularly consistently putting out the best content. Again, nobody's perfect. Nobody gets it right 100% of the time. But I do want to shout out to Misty Winston. Thank you so much for everything you do. We are going to honor you as well tonight. And she did not know about this, and she's going to kill me that I'm even doing this at all. But everybody kind of agreed, and nobody argued, and everyone kind of said, yeah, that's kind of the right thing to do. So Misty, this is for you. And again, thank you so much for being so active and so vocal in freeing, you know, in the fight to free Julian Assange, in coordinating and organizing this entire event that's happening in front of the Justice Department tomorrow, in coordinating some of the tables for Assange, and starting that trend and helping to start that trend. Just a phenomenal person, and she 100% deserves it. Totally selfless. Did not know that she was going to be getting this. Surprise, Misty, you're getting one too. Yes. She did not know. So, we're going to be going to Reefer After Dark soon in a few minutes. Everybody subscribe again to all these amazing streamers. Hopefully the IndieMediaAwards.com website will be up and live soon. We've got some kind of a technical glitch. I feel like healthcare.gov right now. Oh my goodness. But it's going to look like this actually when it does go live. You'll be able to see the criteria. You'll also be able to see who the organizers are, and Action for Assange and Misty. And of course, please subscribe to Action for Assange. They hold weekly vigils on their channel. But I think this is it for tonight. And I'm going to say again, like I always say, to always question everybody's motivations. And I love you all, and I thank you for coming, and I thank you for listening to this, and I thank all of these incredible writers, content creators, streamers. Again, we would not be able to do what we do without you. So again, thank you so much. And this is Indie out.
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry. My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track, and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say?